thing is, I do believe there was talk about these things. I believe if we study history, the Confederates were able to shoot pterodactyls, back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online.
Google it
They
yourself.
spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so...
What I'm saying is Jesus wrote a dinosaur to work. That's history. It's in the Bible. How to Train Your Dragon.
Historical facts.
And if you don't believe it, do your own research. Pull up Google. You'll find the picture, I promise.
Oh my god.
Thank you, John Gleason, Godless engineer, for gifting me this beautiful moment. Y'all remember when they tried to cancel Steven Spielberg for posing with an animatronic triceratops animal rights activist?
Back it up.
Hit it from the back.
Cloaca. Historical facts.
Eat my ass, BP. You're down here bailing on the rest of us because you don't want to process your grief and shame like a normal person by drinking and mistreating strangers.
No, Rick. It is you who must nibble my cloaca, or bird asshole.
Everyone knows what a cloaca is.
back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online. They spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so...
Paul Bunyan was sharing some Funyuns with his pet velociraptor.
Whoa.
Oh, you thought it was an ox? Roll back the clock. Let me knock the socks off. Historical facts.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
Shit, can you? There you go. Sorry, technical difficulties with GE. What's up, heathens? How ya doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologists' claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Tonight, I don't know. Hold on. I feel like it's really loud. I wonder if it's really loud. No? Okay. Sorry. Just trying to be very mindful of my levels here. But anyways, tonight we're going to be taking a look at Jon Kragen. If you don't know Jon Kragen, I have done maybe a video or two on him before. And tonight he is going to be talking about the quote-unquote irrational dangers of atheism. And hold on. Turn that down over there a little bit because I know I'm naturally loud. But anyways, Jon Kragen is going to be talking about the irrational dangers of atheism tonight, and I don't know why he thinks that it's there are irrational dangers. I don't know if he's saying that it's irrational to think that there are dangers, or what. Anyways, he is definitely not on the side of atheism tonight. He claims to be a former atheist, so he's going to be telling us why we shouldn't be atheists and the dangers of being an atheist. So we are going to be taking a look at that tonight. If you want to fuck around and find out how dangerous atheism is, or rather how dangerous it's not, then please stay tuned. All right. Well, to start off with tonight, just a little bit of a housekeeping stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of the content this week. I was particularly proud of the Bart Ehrman video that went out at the very beginning of the week, and next week we've got more great content coming up. But I do want to point out how a portion of the proceeds that we generate here on Godless Engineer go to a charity every month. And so watching our videos here, doing a super chat, being a Skeptic Mafia member, those are ways that you can help us donate to good causes. And for this month, considering the current climate in the United States, we are choosing to donate to a women's charity, a women's health charity. And last week I talked about us donating to Planned Parenthood. That's just because we hadn't really looked into what options were available, but we actually found a pretty good charity called Bridget. What Bridget is it's a charity that will help women that need an abortion or abortion services of some kind. They will provide the funds and means to get them to wherever they need to go. So it provides those services, and all of the charities that we pick here to donate to on Godless Engineer, we verify through places like Charity Navigator and these third-party charity like verification organizations. So we know that Bridget is a really good charity that's going to do a lot of good, especially in the upcoming months. So if you want to help us donate, then definitely consider doing a super chat, becoming a Skeptic Mafia member, or just simply watching our videos. That helps a lot too. So let's get on into our Friday night stream. We are going to be going through a couple of Today I Learns, and then we got some comments to go through. Bro Cephas is going to stop by. Woot, that's right, Woot. Bro Cephas is going to stop by. He's going to be explaining something. I don't know what. He always acts surprised when he gets on here, but he's the one that fucking picks these things. Oh. Sorry, in my ear it said call ended. But anyways, we're going to be doing that. Bro Cephas is going to be explaining some shit, and then we're going to get on into John's video. So, let's get on into the Today I Learned. Shit, I got to get... there we go. Sorry, I had to fake tune it there for a second. All right, here we go. Today I Learned! Woohoo! Anyways, first up on Today I Learned that there are 40 billion billions of black holes in the universe. With a new computational approach, researchers have been able to make the fascinating calculation. Moreover, according to their work, around 1% of the overall ordinary baryonic matter is locked up in stellar mass black holes. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So this is one of those things that it's just kind of like interesting to know. You're not really going to be able to use this. I don't know if it would help you in like a job interview. Like, hey, I know how many black holes there probably are. Do you know? No? Oh, well, maybe I should get hired. Anyways, there's that, and then this is actually one of the mafiosos submitted this today. One of the Skeptic Mafia did. This was submitted by Drew's Book Reviews, who we'll probably hear from later about Jon Kragen's video. But this is the the corpse flower. And basically, this is a flower that smells like a rotting corpse for whatever fucking reason. Let's see, a corpse flower. Oh, we've got Please Speak Like Kent Hovind. Hell yeah, thank you.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Listen, I'm just here to help. I'm just trying to help. Are you a pervert or something? If you're watching this stream, you're probably a pervert, okay? Water. That's how he says water. Anyways, a corpse flower smells like a heady mix of rotten fish, sewage, and dead bodies. It's a stench meant to draw flies. but just as surely it draws tourists. It's like, oh, what does this smell like? I just imagine that's how that goes. Alex Baranowski sent in a member chat. Thank you so much there, Alex, saying the corpse flower is pollinated by flies, hence the rotting meat smell. They land in the flower and are doused with pollen and go to other flowers. I think we're just about to get to that. One blustery Chicago night in 2015, thousands of people lined up at the Chicago Botanical Garden for a whiff of a 4.5 foot tall corpse flower named Alice. Okay, so they don't actually mention that that's how. I don't know. I was thinking maybe it might have been like a Venus flytrap and it ate the flies or some shit, but I don't know.
You know, donating this much only makes me drink more.
I really got to fix that. I don't know how to fix it. Anyways, Jonathan Hanachek says, give her a mic. Her a mic. Oh, wait, I forgot she doesn't want anybody to hear her opinion. Lol, maybe one of us. Well, no, I mean, Casey just doesn't like to be on a mic. So that's good. That's going to be the end of Casey gets a mic, unless she talks too much. Okay? Mind my business. Oh, Hanachek needs to mind his business. Everybody needs to mind your fucking business. Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Alex, for the information here. And Jonathan, you're just gonna have to wait for Tuesday, man, with the Bible study. So, but anyways, that's gonna be it for the Today I Learns. I hope y'all learned something. I know I did with this corpse flower bit, but now we've got comments. I hope you're ready for this. Comments of the day. Prepare to face palm yourself into next week. Yeah. I actually managed to turn the sound off this week. So, all right. Next, we got some comments to go through. First one is She Who Shall Not Be Named. And she says, Roe v. Wade violates Amendment 14 of the Constitution. Actually, it doesn't. The Amendment 14, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that actually provides the protections for women. So, protects, women's rights in these areas.
Just a little bit of money.
Hey there, Jester Lord of Fools. Jester says, say hi to Mr. Kragen. Yeah, I saw Faithful Servants of Christ. I think... I don't know, John. Is that like your 5th account? I've seen you on so many different accounts. It's usually hard to tell. Thank you so much for tuning in for my critique of your video. So Amendment 14 actually provides women with the right to health care and equal treatment and all this other stuff. And privacy. More importantly, it's privacy. So she goes on to say, which promised persons the right to life. Personhood isn't magically conferred at some arbitrary point in the birth process. Oh, is it not? Because that's not what your Bible says. In fact, what your Bible says is that you're not considered to be alive, or at least not even worth considering to be a person until you receive the breath of life. So it's when you start breathing that you are determined to be alive by the Bible standards. And there's several different verses I could bring up for that. And there's several different ways apologists can skirt around that issue. But the fact is that, in the Bible, it's the breath of life. It's not life at conception. Just saying. Also, it does seem like God considers life to be magically breathed into them, considering the breath of life is something that comes from God, apparently, in the Bible. So that kind of seems to fit the whole magic bit. But anyways, redefining what it means to be a person is inhumane / Hitler. Life begins at conception. So I don't know. So there's a bit of nuance here that a lot of people don't bother handling on the outset. So a fetus is living tissue, but it's not a living person. And the debate about personhood, or when someone becomes a person, is a philosophical question. It's not really it's not so much a scientific question. It's a philosophical question. Although you can use science to inform your opinion on it, And honestly, I think the best way, at least in my opinion, I'm not a medical professional, obviously, but I think when the fetus becomes, viable outside of the womb, I think that at that point, you could potentially consider the fetus, a baby, but really it's not a baby until it's born. But in any case, I don't want to get bogged down in all that. It's also not redefining what a person is. Like I feel like the philosophical question of when does personhood begin is not exactly redefining what a person is. And this tweet goes immediately to Hitler, at like 0 to Hitler really quick, which violates that that law of the internet. Crap, I can't remember what that friggin' thing is. Let's see. Internet law about Hitler. Godwin's law. I should remember that because it's got God in it. Godwin's law. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat that's correcting me right now. Ever since I've had COVID, it's been a little bit worse for KC, but for me, sometimes just shit escapes me. But in any case, next up is Donald Trump Jr. He took a break between snorting lines of cocaine to tweet, "I'm still trying to figure out the recent media outrage about my father possibly wanting to target Mexican drug cartels' manufacturing facilities in Mexico. Is that supposed to be a bad thing?" I mean, if you're doing it in conjunction with the Mexican government, no. I mean, I feel like joint task forces have always been a thing. That's not what Donald Trump was doing. And I want everybody to be very clear as to what Donald Trump suggested and was rightly told no about. He wanted to fire missiles at drug manufacturing facilities in Mexico, which are normally located like in cities around people and everything like that. He wanted to target them with missiles. And then, at the prospect of people blaming the United States for shooting missiles into another country that borders us without any provocation, is to just act like we didn't do it. That's what Donald Trump wanted to do. You can't do that. Who else would have done that?
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
I will keep drinking as much liquor as I want to. All right. Jason says, not to mention, a husband can force an abortion on a wife if he suspects infidelity. That's true. Who's Your Buddy says he wanted to he wanted to nuke hurricanes too. Yeah, he wanted to shoot a nuke into a hurricane. What?
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
All right. That's enough of Donald Trump Jr. Here's this genius person right here who says, anesthesiologists don't need to diagnose anyone. There is no legal need to be an MD to deliver anesthesia. I mean, what? I feel like you definitely do have to be trained, as a doctor to understand what certain medicines do to a person. And I mean, it makes no sense to me to be like, you don't gotta be a doctor to pump someone up with some random ass fucking, drug that could potentially kill them. Like, what the fuck? Please don't try to be an amateur anesthesiologist. Just don't. All right. Here's a tweet from Eric Erickson, who says, My big issue with Roe has always been that abortion shouldn't be a constitutional right. I don't understand that, because abortion is just, it's a health service for women, and it should definitely be available. Because if you're not going to legalize abortion, then women, people, are just going to get illegal and unsafe abortions. They're going to happen either way. It's just whether or not you provide a safe access to them. So everything that is supposedly coming down the pipe for the future of 2022 is going to hurt a lot of women. And people like this are just shitty fucking people. But he continues. But left to each state under federalism. Oh, that's really weird, because you know what? That's what they said about segregation and racial equality and shit like that. Kind of weird how those things go together there, restricting rights all around. But given the hysterics and histrionics, I don't know if I said that right. Histrionics? Coming out about Dobbs, I'm starting to think we need to repeal the 19th Amendment. These people are nuts. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember looking this up, but I just want to make sure before I, talk out of my ass. I do believe that's the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on the account of sex. So basically, he wants to revoke women's rights to vote because he doesn't like people being up in arms about their rights being taken away from them. So he wants to take even more rights away from people. Interesting tactic there, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. I don't know. I think the United States is kind of going to hell in a handbasket right now. So it might occur. Who knows? Fuck. With Justice Alito saying that women's rights in general.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Thank you, Everett. Yeah. I just had to switch back for a second. And the Today I Learned thing's going to run again. See, Everett Vinzant says, the only way I can handle all this nonsense you're putting on the screen is to drink heavily. 45s or better only. We got Jane Pusecker who says, in a member message, in Ohio, they are talking about a full ban on abortion. Right. It is still allowed. You can get one before 20 weeks. It should be reduced to 15 weeks. I disagree. I disagree there, Jane. And
hey, dipshit. This person just bought you a bear.
I disagree with the idea that abortion should be restricted to 15 weeks, and mainly because first of all, abortion is used in later term pregnancies, or pregnancies in their later term, in case of like medical emergencies and stuff like that. Normally, it's not like a viable fetus that is being aborted at that point. So abortion should remain available to everybody all the way up, is my opinion. But most abortions occur before the 12th week or before. And the only reason why abortions are performed after that point are either lack of access to abortion services prior to that point or medical necessity. So I think that it should definitely remain available, all the way through. But anyways, we had Jason Kolosik who said, you start touching amendments, we'll cut the second. It's really weird how they're so quick to, want to abolish amendments, but yet every Republican, every conservative, like political ad I see, they always want to protect the Second Amendment, which nobody is talking about revoking, but yet they're like seem to be openly talking about revoking women's rights to vote. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, LL Foot here. I'm guessing that reminds me of LL Bean is what it reminds me of. But anyways, they say semantics aren't going to work for you. A human fetus is a human baby. It is just facts and science. Well, if that's true, then those helicopter seeds that you see out, in the yard and everything like that, that's a tree. And the eggs that chickens pop out are whole ass chickens. They're not, but you get my point. A human fetus, while living, is not a human baby. There's a very big distinction there. So it's not science and it's not facts that a blastocyst or a gamete or whatever is as a baby. It's just that's not a thing. And then finally, we got this weird ass one, which I guess maybe we could put this one up now. I don't know. It happens sometimes. My dad has a friend whose wife left him for a lewd phone caller. He's just heavy breathed into the phone and she left. I'm sure there were other things involved in their marriage for her to leave, but that was it. But like 9 of 10, this would not happen. I don't know what that last part's about, but I sincerely doubt somebody just called and was like, and she was like, "Oh my God, my panties are soaked." Like I really don't think that happened at all. I don't know why this person thinks that. Also, I love the internal contradiction of that. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4th sentence there, where they say that I'm sure there were other things, but this weird person breathing into a phone was the thing that caused her to leave. Like, no, I feel like there probably were other things that caused that person to leave. Anyways. All right. So, are y'all ready for some Brocephus action? Honey, are you ready? Yeah, I'm going to go get Brocephus. Hold on, I got to get a drink first, though. Here's Brocephus. I heard you tell them that I picked this shit. I just gotta say, I do not. You know that, GE. Yes, you do. You sent it to me today. That doesn't mean I wanted to do it tonight.
Would you two stop fighting? Do I need to put you in separate corners?
No, you ain't gotta put me in a corner. I'll be good. Shit. Nobody puts baby Brocephus in the corner. Okay, all right, here we go. Hopefully this camera will hang on for at least a little bit. All right, let's see. What do we got here? All right, it's a vertical video on a phone. I guess I'm supposed to hit play here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Why haven't infinite marble engines been used to solve the energy crisis? Oh, shit. What's going to happen? Holy fuck! Okay, listen, all right. This is very obviously the devil's work here, okay? I mean, I don't know how plain as day you can be for the devil's work. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. This is obviously, I bet you I know what happened. The devil came to earth and he was like, hey, if you do this, it'll provide you an infinite amount of energy. And then somebody built it and they was like, holy fuck, of course it does. And so they built this little toy right here that will perpetually throw that goddamn marble up into that little thingy. Holy shit. We need to burn this right now. Roast it. I mean, if we keep it around, God will see it and he will get pissed. This is like a fucking idol. We don't need to have this around. God don't like idols. He also doesn't like it when you suck other God's dicks, but he doesn't like idols neither. This is very obviously the work of Satan. That's what it is. Like them potato lights and stuff. You know, potato alarm clocks. You know, you stick a potato in water or maybe like a saline solution and you can connect 2 wires up to it and then you can power a light bulb. That shit seems scary as shit. Or that shit seems scary to Amish people. They don't like technology none. But this is of the devil. The devil came up with this. What? This is not awesome, KC. Because it'll cause the gas companies to go out of business. All them oil companies, they'll just go out of business because we got too many of these marble engines going around. Can you imagine cruising down the road in your car and just, you know, you got a marble that keeps going up and like that and causing your car to go? How do you know? We could have a V12 engine with 12 of these motherfuckers propelling shit. Okay. Anyways, can't wait for our Satan overlords to instantiate the perpetual motion machine right here. And I guess we'll just see if God, you know, causes a lot of shit for us in the future. Anyways, that's it for me. Letting you. Oh, Daniel says, David says good night. He is in bed already. He has been a little under the weather today. Oh shit, that sucks there, David. Daniel, tell David I said good night from Brocephus, okay? I'm sure JE will say something here in a minute. You know, he's always got to have the last word. But anyways, y'all go burn in hell and I will see you heathens later or some shit. Bye, y'all. Oh, I hit the wrong fucking button for sure. Damn it. To hell. Oh, fuck. Wait. Ah! Damn it, Brocephus, you messed my shit up. Yeah, he fucked it up. He doesn't have all the brains, huh? Let's see if I can resize this shit. So this is a cool little toy. I don't think that it's all that practical for, you know, I don't think it's all that practical for anything.
Today I learned that atheists sacrifice babies on Halloween.
Jason Kolasik says Bo of the Fifth Column just released an interesting vid about until the fetus is viable, the conversation should concentrate on bodily autonomy. I completely agree because random living tissue is not necessarily a person. And I feel like that's what the conversation kind of comes down to is, people seem to be having arguments over like living tissue that could potentially become a person. Sure. But it doesn't mean that it will, or that even naturally, it doesn't mean that it will. So I think that bodily autonomy is a more important issue than, than what they're making it out to be. But anyways, I do want to say good night to David. Thank you so much there, Daniel, for sending in your member chat for this month. Appreciate you so much. Did Kragen get banned? No? Okay. Yeah. He does say crazy ass shit. He's a conspiracy theorist, Tony.
Here comes the gravy train.
I think that you'll probably I think that you're right on the money there. Hold on, I seem to have lost my my headset. No, it's right here. Ah, got it. Okay. All right. Y'all ready to get to the video? Oh, yeah. Elizabeth Richardson, super chat. Support for the charity tonight. I have nothing interesting to say tonight, so I hope you all have a great weekend. Oh, thank you so much there, Elizabeth. I appreciate you being here and sending in a super chat. You're awesome. Oh, and we got Jester Lord of Fools, who says many types of cancer are viable living cells. Yeah, I mean, I would agree that cancer, like tumors and stuff, is living tissue.
This person just bought you a bear.
So I find it hard to distinguish between. Sorry, I couldn't hear that necessarily. I wonder if this is still. Oh, you heard it?
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I meant. We'll get to it. Anyways, thank you so much there, Jester. Let me get this.
All right, I just want to, from a perspective.
Oh, maybe I need to reset my headset. Sorry, it'll just be 1 second, everybody. I gotta get this thing situated on my other screen. Also gotta get my headset situation. No, it's fine.
Perspective of myself, I'm an ex-atheist.
Are you hearing it in your ear? It's weird. I'm not hearing it in mine.
All right, I just want to, from a perspective of myself, I'm an ex-atheist. Just talk about just the dangers and the irrationality of atheism.
Like, fucking pause. Damn. Technical issues with GE. Let's see, maybe I can. Oh. Apparently this headset has a low battery. No, baby. You're fine. All right. So now I've cut out the very, very beginning and the very, very end of John's video tonight, just because it's not the meat of the video that we're really all that concerned with. So we're just going to start right in at the beginning. Just to remind everybody that's watching, if you're just now tuning in, we're going to be donating a portion. Oh, well, fuck me. Here, huh? Yeah, that pause face is is kind of bad. All right, let me get turned up a little bit.
All right, I just want to, from a perspective of myself, I'm an ex-atheist. Just talk about just the dangers and the.
Okay. now the technical difficulties are out of the way. You know, I know that's exactly why you guys donate to us here for all the technical difficulties. Okay, so we're going to be getting into the video tonight. And I know that John's watching, so I hope that you take my criticisms with, you know, sincere thoughts, maybe, or, you know, don't just brush me off or anything like that there, John. But anyways, so John is going to be telling us about the irrational dangers of atheism. And so I'm very interested to hear what these irrational dangers are. Let's find out.
All right, I just want to, from a perspective of myself, I'm an ex-atheist, just talk about just the dangers and the irrationality of atheism. Okay, so like I said, I'm an ex-atheist. I was an atheist for most of my early teens, and by God's grace, He saved me out of the sci-fi communist religion of atheism.
The sci-fi communist religion of atheism. You heard that, huh, hon? Okay. Huh? Oh shit! Did you? What'd he say? Oh, okay.
He's saying the Jew.
Yeah. Good call there, hun. Anyways, so for one thing, the atheism isn't science fiction. Just to take this one by one here. Atheism is not science fiction. Atheists, in a very general sense, we're just not convinced of the arguments for God, and the arguments against specific definitions of God that we have, or deities rather, are like the arguments against them are actually way better than the arguments for them. And so we just remain unconvinced that any kind of deity exists, is what it boils down to. And so there's no science fiction in that. It's just an honest look at the evidence. So I don't know what he means by that. Communist? Well, some atheists are probably more than likely communists. That doesn't mean that all atheists are communist. And I don't understand how atheism can be communist by itself, because it's just not being convinced that a deity exists.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
Thank you for reminding me my alcohol. But atheism is just not believing in a god. There's no way that can be communistic or a communist ideology. And then religion, atheism is definitely not a religion. I get that a lot of apologists want to try to paint atheism as a religion, but there's no way that atheism can be a religion, because it's just one single aspect of a person's worldview, and that's whether or not they believe in a god. That's it. That's all atheism is. We got Mathwiz, who says, if atheism is sci-fi, where do I get my Star Trek replicator and warp drive? Well, I don't know. I've got a Star Trek face on my, I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it probably a bit right there. I got a Star Trek face right here. KC's actually got a comm badge tattooed on her shoulder.
Beer and shit on people. Luckily, I have enough beer.
I love that one. Deviant Outcast says, really want to contribute more, but my life's first super chat to say I feel with all of you and for you intensely. It's horrific, absurd, weird, deeply tragic event. Just don't give up the fight. Yeah, we're definitely not. We're going to be fighting this. The only way that we can really fight it is with our votes. So everybody needs to get out and vote for non-dipshitty people. Okay, I'm just saying that. Don't vote for dipshits. Anybody that's a dipshit will let you know. I'm sure you just got to watch the commercials. If they got a dipshit commercial, don't vote for them. If they have religion at the forefront of their political platform, also don't vote for them. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, he also said, that he was an atheist for 20 years or whatnot. I'm not in the business to question somebody's life experience. As far as, huh? Oh, you already pressed X to doubt. It does seem like a lot of what he says is through a very religious lens, and it does make me question as to whether or not he was really an atheist. But for the purposes of this video, I don't see any kind of benefit to questioning him being an atheist. I think it's perfectly fine for us to assume that he was an atheist, but maybe he'll change my mind by the end of it with whatever kind of fucking crazy shit he says. All right, let's see what else he's got. Oh, we got, okay, yeah, I read everybody's super chat. All right, let's go.
And I just wanted to just briefly say some things about the dangers of atheism and also just the irrationality of it. So first of all, I want to point out that when I was an atheist, I was actually depressed, and it wasn't until Jesus Christ saved me that I began to have actual real joy. Because
You see, that's where you went wrong there, Jon Kragen. That's where he goes wrong, because while you can, find solace in religion if you're depressed, clinically depressed or anything like that. But I feel like if you're just going to run to religion and, just sort of, what it makes me think of is, the scene in Big Daddy, the Adam Sandler movie. Sorry, the scene in in his house where the kid that he got has been eating sugar and all this other shit, and he's been jumping around everywhere, and then he pukes places. Okay, so the puke is your mental health, and it's bad. It's everywhere. It's shit. And then I feel like religion is Adam Sandler walking around the apartment putting newspapers on top of the shit. You're not actually cleaning it up. You're just putting something on top of it to at least make it visually not look like there's vomit everywhere. And I feel like that's what religion does for mental health. Is it? I'm smart sometimes, huh? You know what? I don't need your sass right now. So, anyways, I feel like that's what religion does for mental health. I feel like people use religion to cover up the bad mental health that they have. And they think that they have overcome their mental health issues, but they really haven't. All they've done is laid newspaper on top of it. Just so that, if you don't, out of sight, out of mind, basically, is what it seems like to me. And so I feel like if you are clinically depressed, definitely seek professional help. I know I did. When I finally admitted to myself that I was depressed, I exhibited all of the symptoms of depression. I went and I saw a psychiatrist, and then I was able to get in with a counselor or a therapist, and I was able to talk out my issues, and with a little bit of help from some medication, but also the therapy, it helped me really get past that. It helped me heal myself in those areas. But I mean, it's going to be a lifelong struggle because
dipshit. This person just bought you a bear.
Thank you there, Jason. It's going to be a lifelong struggle for me because, I feel like I'm always going to fight, these depressive swings that I have. But the difference is that I have better tools now to recognize when I hit those depression lows, and I don't spiral anymore. I don't, go down, farther and farther and farther to where I get to the point where, some bad stuff can happen. And I feel like if you just cover that up with Jesus, while it may seem to work on the surface, you're not actually solving the problem. So I hate that John here, I hate that he had this kind of situation and that he didn't seek help for it. I wish that he had sought help for it. I think it's fine if he becomes religious, but I don't think that you should use religion to cover up your mental health problems. I think that you should definitely deal with those head on with a professional. We got Jason who says, not to mention community. Community is also another big thing. If you have a good community, a good support structure around you, that also helps. I didn't so much have that when I was going through what I went through, but definitely help from a lot of people is vital as well. All right, let's continue.
There really is no joy in atheism when you really get down to it. Now, there could be some exceptions to the rule, I'm not denying that. But when I was an atheist, I can just say that atheism honestly made me depressed for a while. Because here's the thing. Regardless of what religion you believe in, you could believe in a satanic cult like Roman Catholicism or Islam. But when you feel down, when you have problems, what happens is subconsciously and mentally and psychologically, you're not truly alone, because you believe you have, for the Muslims, they'll pray to their Arabian moon idol of Allah. For the Catholics, they'll pray to their Babylonian goddess of the Virgin Mary.
Honey, what do you think about Mary being portrayed as a Babylonian goddess? Oh, well, I mean, that's what Kragen just said. Kragen. He says that Roman Catholics pray to their Babylonian goddess, Mary. Catholic. Well, no, he's portraying Catholics as worshiping a Babylonian goddess named Mary. That's not what Catholics actually do, but that's what he says that Catholics do.
He's twisting the idea that Catholics.
Yeah.
And other Christians do that. Like,
oh, yeah, only Catholics pray to Mary, but that doesn't mean she's a Babylonian goddess. No. But what he's saying here is that atheism is dangerous because that means that you're alone. But the weird thing is that I'm not alone. Like, I don't feel alone. Like, maybe he was alone. Maybe he didn't have anybody. I don't know what his personal history is. I hate that, he found himself in a position where he was utterly alone. But again, just like with the newspaper on top of your mental health analogy, I feel like pretending that there's a God, or I don't think that he was pretending that there was a God, but just saying, oh, well, religion's better, or Christianity's better because you're never alone because God's there. Well, I mean, I don't believe in God, and I have plenty of people around me. I mean, Casey's the only one that matters, of course, in that respect. But,
woo! That's KC's money.
That's your money. That's right, hon. Jester, Lord of Fools, says he's saying that he desperately needs therapy. I think that therapy could have definitely helped him, and considering that he's already banned from our chat, it seems like he definitely needs it. Oh, he was going to bed anyways. Daniel M sent a super chat saying, speaking of community, do you think that people who used to be atheist is because they didn't or had a hard time finding community, so they reverted back? I could see that happening. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I've never really attributed God to any of that kind of stuff. So I can't imagine me, even if I was alone, I can't imagine me suddenly being like, oh God. But I think that maybe that could happen. People feel lonely or whatever. And so they turn to religion. But again, I feel like that's just putting newspaper over the vomit. I mean, I feel like, finding some kind of community out there to, build a support structure out of, I think would be far better than just, believing in God, because you can believe in God and still feel alone. You can believe in God and still not have a good support structure around you.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
I don't think it's actually come through on my side yet. That super chat. But anyways, so I don't think that I really don't think that becoming religious just so that you're not alone anymore is a good solution for anything.
And despite the fact that Roman Catholicism and Islam are satanic cults, they do have a higher power they believe they can pray to. And in that sense, psychologically and subconsciously, they're not truly alone. But if you're an atheist...
I'm sorry. Islam and Catholicism are satanic cults? What? I mean, I don't understand how he gets there, because both of them actively work against the quote unquote devil or Satan or whatever. So I don't understand how he can get to Catholicism as a satanic cult. Now, the organization, the Catholic organization's definitely evil. If you could tag anything as evil, I think that they are a very bad group. But as far as Catholicism, the religion goes, I don't see it as being satanic, considering that they worship Jesus. They just also happen to worship other things as well, like Mary. That doesn't make it satanic.
If you have problems, if let's say you're abandoned, in your mind, you truly are all alone. You have nobody except yourself. It's that simple. And when I was an atheist, that was exactly what I was thinking. It's that simple. I mean, in my mind, I was thinking I have nobody. All I have is just me and my miserable, body, essentially.
You Casey started laughing. It's like, that's not supposed to be funny. Like, I guess I don't understand why it's like why he thinks he's got a miserable body. Like, I don't know. I don't see the appeal of feeling this way about like your life in general. Like, I totally get that he was very depressed. He was a very depressed person. And a lot of times when you're depressed like that, you're not thinking rationally. But I feel like at least in my experience, this sounds a lot like me when I'm not thinking irrationally and I'm thinking very emotionally. Like, thinking in this kind of way for me was a sign that, I was being irrational. And this is what he's talking about here is very emotional. It's very subjective to how he sees himself. So I don't know. I feel like this video is just highlighting the importance of mental health care. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense at all. I mean that in the very serious way that if you're suffering from depression or clinical depression or any other kind of mental illness, definitely seek professional help for that. And you shouldn't feel ashamed at all for seeking that kind of help. And that's what I hear coming from Kragen right now. Like, I don't see anything about an irrational danger in atheism, or atheism as an irrational danger, because just not believing in a God doesn't affect me in the ways that he's talking about, and doesn't affect anybody that I know in the ways that he's talking about. Everything that he's talking about screams, some kind of deeper issue.
And even if you're in Christianity, we believe in the human is composed of body, soul, and spirit. But even if you're an atheist, you're just a chunk of flesh. So you really got nobody. That's the simple fact of the matter. And when I was an atheist, I was depressed. And, I was going down a dark path, a pretty violent and dark path. And that's the fruit of...
Whoa. When he was an atheist, he was going down a violent and dark path. Yeah, something's fucked up there. That you're not violent. I feel like most atheists are not violent. And if, like, Christians can go down violent, dark paths. Everything that he's saying here is a benefit to religion or a benefit to believing in God can equally happen with somebody that believes in God. Jason Kolosik says, what kind of pretzel you'd have to twist yourself into to start lying to yourself to start believing God exists?
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
Fuck yeah, it does. What's that auntie's place? Auntie Anne's? Yeah, you'd have to get a pretty big fucking pretzel from Auntie Anne's, I guess. I mean, they got really buttery fucking pretzels. It's all slippery and shit. But it would take a lot for me to get myself to believe in a deity at this point. And that's just because I feel like I've thoroughly researched the question. And unless there's some kind of new empirical information or empirical data about God, I mean, I'm going to remain agnostic on the existence of a deity in general. And so I don't know that. I feel like if your position of going down a dark, violent path is indistinguishable from Christians that go down dark, violent paths, and God's still not helping those people out. In fact, those people that go down these dark, violent paths as Christians have an easy out because they just have to pray for forgiveness or promise to God they'll never do it again. And God will forgive them and they'll get into heaven under, certain denominations. And so, I mean, there's an easy out as a Christian if you're going down a dark, violent path. In fact, right now, I don't really want to come across Jon Kragen anywhere. Because if he was going down a dark, violent path before, spreading God on that shit's not going to cause you to not go down that path.
Atheism for you. There's a reason why all the communist religions and everything like that, all the communists, because whenever they get down to it, communism is a religion. It acts just like a religion. They have a holy book. They got the manifestos, which is like their holy books, and is rooted in atheism.
You've never had a manifesto?
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
Thank you, Jester. I mean, I haven't, but he's talking about communists.
Oh.
No.
So sorry.
He's talking about communists and how communism acts like a religion. And, just because communism, there's the Communist Manifesto, but I mean, they definitely don't treat that as if it's like a holy book. Like that's not their holy book. And communism is a form of government. So, I mean, it's definitely not a religion. Like if you form a communist government, it's not a theocracy because communism is not a religion. I mean, that's just, it's in the definition of what communism fucking is. It's not a religion. But also, atheism being at the root of communism. I mean, sure, there have been atheist regimes, or rather state atheist regimes, where they ban religion and enforce state atheism, but that's where they replace the state, or they replace religion with the state. So instead of worshiping a god, they venerate the state like it was a religion or something like that. And so, I mean, that's vastly different from being rooted in atheism. And I feel like he is just confusing the concepts of the modern atheist community or movement, or whatever you want to say, the current state of atheism is, and state atheism that is enforced by these countries. And he's confusing the two in order to make this particular argument that atheism leads to communism and killing people and everything like that, because he was going down a dark, violent path. And I guess he forgets all of the theocracies out there that have done their share of killing and their share of crusades and conquistadors and just massive slaughter of people just because they're not Christian.
And when you get down to the fact of the matter, I've been saying that quite a lot, but there's a lot of issues to cover, is that atheism, the fruit of atheism, is on full display in North Korea. Because North Korea, they have state-enforced atheism, and it's illegal to criticize atheism over there. If you practice anything other than atheism, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get persecuted. That's the fruit of atheism. That's what happens when you don't have church-state separation. I'll be covering also the fact of how state-enforced atheism is against church-state separation. I've covered that in other videos before.
Well, I mean, yeah, state-enforced atheism would be anti-separation of church and state, because that's the state legislating laws that restrict religion. Yeah. There's shamanism in North Korea, Shandoism, and small communities of Buddhists and Christians in North Korea. So, I mean, I feel like he's wrong about them not being able to be part of those religions. Although, I mean, I don't know if North Korea is a state atheism type place. It is? Okay. Okay. Apparently, Chandoism is a religion that's represented in politics there, in North Korea. North Korea's national religion? Oh, Korea. Interesting. Okay. Well, still, I mean, what he said about state enforced atheism, like he's talking about, would infringe on the separation of church and state, obviously. And I don't know how North Korea operates. I mean, it's a pretty I feel like there's no way for us to really know exactly what's going on in North Korea. But obviously there are other religions that exist in North Korea. But the fact is that North Korea enforcing state atheism is not what atheism is in the colloquial sense. Like in general, normal society, or I guess regular society that's not North Korea. Separation of church and state is a secular concept, and America is a secular nation, and atheists in America don't want to violate the freedom of religion.
Ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
The chances of Alex sent a super chat saying the chances of anyone else watching GE's live stream while feeding Western tiger swallows are slim, but never zero. Okay. But anyways, basically what he's saying here, or at least what he's trying to insinuate, is that if you're an atheist, you hate religion and you want to extinguish it like completely, and you're violent. I feel like is the message that he's trying to communicate here. But I mean, atheists are one of the biggest proponents of separation of church and state, especially here in the United States. So I don't know what he's talking about here, other than he's fear mongering people. Hopefully, I guess in his eyes, or in his view, fear mongering people to believe in God.
But the dangers of atheism is just simply the fact of it can cause depression, because when you're truly alone, in your mind, you're truly alone. You know, but when you have, even if you're a Hindu, a Muslim, or a Catholic, or whatever, you have some kind of a deity you can pray to, and so, like I said, you're not truly alone. I know I'm repeating myself, but that I want to just hammer on that point.
Well, I mean, even if you are alone, just smearing God on it is not going to actually handle the issue, because the issue is deeper than religion can really help you with. It's a mental issue. If you have issues with depression or issues with loneliness and how that affects your mental health, then you need to seek therapy. And I mean, I'm not saying don't be religious. I'm just saying that whether you're religious or not religious, seek therapy for mental health problems. And I feel like John wouldn't be sitting here saying all of this irrational shit if he had just gotten some help when he needed it. But he chose to rub God on that shit. And, you know, it didn't clean up the vomit in Adam Sandler's apartment. And it's definitely not going to wash this shit away.
So atheism is psychologically bad for you, and also just the irrationality of it as well, of how you can go out in nature. I mean, just simply go out in nature and look at all the just amazing, vast scenery, look at all the vast, diverse species of organisms and everything.
Look at the trees! That's what he just did.
Yeah, and do you think, it just came, like what atheism says is that humans came from algae, which morphed into frogs or whatever. I mean,
no, that's not what atheism says. All atheism is not believing in God. A person that does not believe in God is an atheist in that sense. They're not convinced that a God exists, so they don't believe in one. What he's talking about there is the straw man version of the scientific explanation for the diversity of life on Earth, which would be evolution. We got Bill Gareth, who says, of course he ignores the countries where atheism and nuns is pretty much the norm.
Christ, ma'am. Or sir. You are blessed.
Like Scandinavian countries. That's a good point there, Bell. Because there are, majority atheist countries that are actually so much better than the United States right now. They're better off societally. They're better off financially. They're just better off in general. So he completely ignores those and he hyper focuses in on the quote unquote bad countries. But anyways, so what he's trying to describe here is the apologist version of evolution. But see, the problem is that evolution doesn't say that there was bacteria that transformed into a frog that then transformed into a human. That violates the law of monophily. Like a frog is never going to turn into a human. If an amphibian were to ever, transform into a bipedal organism, they would still be part of the amphibian clade, right? The group of organisms that known as amphibians. So they would still be part of that group. We're not part of that group. Frogs can never become humans. So, but like I said, he's just totally misunderstanding what evolution is at this point.
I used to know evolution a lot. I just don't really care about it anymore because it's a bunch of garbage. So,
bravo, Dr. Jon Kragen, throwing away evolution because it's just dumb garbage. Oh, no. He doesn't have a real doctorate there, hun. I feel like he's just got a doctorate or he's just got expertise from Creationist Ministries International, Answers in Genesis, Dinosaur Adventureland. I'm just going to stay the fuck away from this guy.
Just the irrationality of it as you go and just go out in nature, look at all the vast organisms, all the vast diverse ecosystem, and you think, it all just came from nothing. Because
it all came from nothing, guys. Hold on.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
There you go. That's basically what John just described, that all of this came out of nothing. It didn't come out of nothing. Evolution's a slow and gradual process. It took billions of years for the diversity of life to develop here on Earth. So it didn't develop out of nothing. But if he's talking about the Big Bang, it still didn't bang out of nothing necessarily. The nothing that existed at the beginning of the universe was still something. We don't talk about Bruno. No. Oh. Oh, Sound of Music. Anyways, this just, I don't know. It's so aggravating to hear. Kevin Beeler says, don't North Koreans worship their little boy Emperor Kim Jong-un? Well, yeah, that would be part of state atheism, though, that we were talking about.
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
All right, let's see what else he's got to say.
If you believe in the Big Bang, you're essentially saying something came from nothing. It's ridiculous.
Oh, but his version of things is better because he has a wizard at the beginning that spoke an incantation and created everything. And that's better than the scientific explanation. So let me just, maybe I can cut this out later and put it up somewhere. But here are the competing hypotheses for the, at least as far as, between religious and the scientific community, as far as when or what happened at the start of this universe. So science would tell you that it was a fluctuation in a quantum scalar field where this quantum scalar field was in a false vacuum state. And for whatever reason, or no reason at all, we don't really know, it hopped that lip to go into a full vacuum state. Now we know that when this does happen to quantum scalar fields, it releases an immense amount of energy. So when it releases this immense amount of energy, it filled, this is the near instantaneous expansion of the universe that we commonly call the Big Bang. It filled the universe with inflaton particles, and these particles eventually transformed into what would become matter today. And atoms couldn't form for 300,000 years after this because it was so hot and dense that atoms couldn't form. So there's the scientific hypothesis for the Big Bang, or the beginning of the universe. Okay, here's the Christian version, or religious version, as far as like the Abrahamic religions go. Well, there was this old white dude with a magnificent beard, and he spoke the universe into existence. And then he spread his butt cheeks apart, and there was light. But he got tired of that one day, and so he created the sun. And that's how everything was created. He spoke everything into existence as it is today. I may have paraphrased a little bit of that. Those are the competing hypotheses here. Actual empirical science. Magical wizard at the beginning of the universe. Am I really supposed to take the religious version of that seriously? Now, I don't mean to represent it as like every religious person thinks like in a creationist sort of sense. Obviously, there are scientifically minded Christians. I don't get that, but they figured out a way to combine those two. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the creationists, which is what he is pushing here in this video. So that's why I'm specifically addressing that. Well, we've got Atheist Drew with a member chat saying, I'm losing brain cells listening to this former atheist. He uses the same words my indoctrinated family uses. Yeah, well, I feel like that's because he's looking at his past self through the lens of a deeply religious person. And I noticed this very commonly with people that were atheists and then become Christian again later on in life. They look back at themselves as an atheist, and they portray themselves in a very negative light because they're looking at themselves through this religious lens. And it's a very interesting phenomenon that seems to happen in that situation of, becoming religious later on in life after being an atheist. So we just got a few more seconds here of this video, so let's get through it.
I wanted to just point that out, just the dangers and irrationality of atheism. It's insanity. So don't be deceived by atheism, as I was for most of my early teens. So yeah, take it from me, an ex-atheist, a former atheist who God saved from his grace, by his grace, I'll put it that way. So anyway, may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with all the brethren. Goodbye. All right, I just want
fucking muted. Sorry, I got tired of looking at Kragen's face there. So did you notice at the end there that he only said for Christ to be with the brethren? Like, is the brethren including like everybody, or is it only like the brosefs? I feel like it might be the brosefs that he's only talking about there. But anyways, so yeah, sorry about all that dead air there. But all in all, for Jon's video, I did not find any of it convincing. What I found was somebody who desperately needed some kind of therapy when he was younger, and instead of getting help for it, he decided to turn to religion. And I feel like that's putting newspaper on vomit, because the vomit being your mental health and it being bad mental health, and just covering it with this God belief. I'm not saying that it will always turn out bad, but I feel like there's a very low percentage of positive outcomes whenever you do that, because you're not actually addressing the issue. And I feel like we see this highlighted in Jon's video, how he's portraying the atheist position as being, lonely and violent and dark, and associated with the bad things that have happened in the past. And I mean, you noticed him just totally spacing out on all of the bad shit that religious people have done in the past, and how religion has fueled many conflicts in the past. So I feel like ignoring all that and painting your side as the better side, instead of presenting an even-handed analysis of it all, only shows that you're looking to push a narrative. And that's exactly what Jon's doing on his channel, everywhere, all the time. He's just looking to push this narrative that's a straw man version of atheism, and he's pushing this word view of Christianity, which, I mean, it's mainly Christian, but he's got some, or mainly creationist, but he has some like conspiracy theory type shit mixed in there. All right, sorry, I thought I missed the super chat. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you're watching right now, please smash that like button if you've made it this far. Next week, we've got a video on contradictions, and then I'm not exactly sure what the Thursday video is going to be. I've got to record that tomorrow. I'm thinking something about TikTok, because I've been saving a bunch of TikTok videos, and I've got a pile of them to address. So Tuesday on the Daily Bible Podcast, we're doing Malachi. So y'all best tune in for some Malachi action. Oh yeah, and if you want to know the full story of the book of Esther, we covered it in 2 episodes. It's the last 2 episodes that we have up right now. So definitely go and check that out if you're curious about Esther. We got Hellbound Hillbilly, who says, just delivered to a house with a cross on the door, a Trump flag flying in the garage, and a statue of Jesus in the truck.
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not going to make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
That's exactly not what those people wanted. I'm sure there's they'd appreciate their $10 tip going to this particular charity. Thank you so much there, Hellbound Hillbilly. In case you're curious, the charity that we're going to be donating to this month is the Bridget charity, and you can look it up. It was actually featured on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. It was the best charity out of the 3 that he mentioned, and they provide services for people to attain abortion services, health services like abortion, if they need them. So definitely go check out that charity and watch our videos, and you'll be helping us donate this month to that charity. So, anyways, for John's video, I feel very sorry for him. It sounds like a very sad story that he has. And I just wish that he had actually dealt with his mental health instead of throwing paper on it. Smearing it with God shit. God's Holy Spirit. And you know what I mean. Anyways, if you will, please go down below. Let me know what you thought about John's video tonight. In the comments, I'd really love to read y'all's takes on it and everything. I do come through there on occasion, looking at everybody's responses. So please leave me your thoughts. And while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like this kind of content, this kind of Friday night atheist regime.
I blew my load.
Danimal blew KC's load, saying for those in need. But definitely leave me your thoughts down below. And then subscribe if you want more of this shit. If you want more of this satanic, dark, violent, state atheist type of content, then subscribe for that kind of shit. Otherwise, I hope that you guys have a great weekend, a great night, and don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But don't go, because we got the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you guys don't know, part of the channel here is a membership, which we call the Skeptic Mafia, very lovingly. And the Skeptic Mafia, one, gets to pick the video that we review on Friday nights. This is the Skeptic Mafia's fault. Yes, honey, it is. Oh, apparently now KC knows who to target. I'm not sure how we should take that, but apparently maybe we should be fearful. Oh, did you? Okay, good. But we're about to go into the Skeptic Mafia comments as soon as I get it all nice, and there you go. Look at that. Fuck yeah. All right, so first up, we've got Deviant Outcast. Thank you so much there, Deviant Outcast, for your comment. Jester Lord of Fools says, I repent. That doesn't sound convincing. I feel like if he did that and Jesus was standing there, he'd be like,
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
I don't think you're sincere. I don't know why you'd be squinting.
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
Quentin says, sending in my weekly tie, the bilateral hanging out with friends. Make sure to lick the like button and smash that subscribe button. Peace out, y'all. Rick Schofield said, wow, no technical problems with GE. He wasn't here before we got into the actual video, apparently. All right, so Deviant Outcast says, wish I had managed to watch the video prior to. Oh, they left this 25 minutes ago. But, well, let's just say I've a feeling on the rest of you are kind of glad I didn't. You're just not aware of the horrors. The perverted height of the wall of text that undoubtedly would have threatened the structural integrities of your individual skull caps. All I'll say, because frankly, just thinking about it sets off my anxiety, and that's after anti-anxiety med, is fuck off with this whole atheism caused my psychological issues. Fuck right off. Give love and all your money to GE, fight the good fight, and nah, I can't even. Take care, stay safe, and stay sane. Sorry, this was bad, just bad. I'm sorry. No, don't be sorry there, Deviant. I want to hear what people have to say about this shit. So, thank you so much for your input. Oh shit, there's a lunar eclipse tonight? Thanks for letting me know there, Sirenny, and I appreciate that. Next up is Daniel M, who says, for as far as him feeling depressed when he was an atheist, I think if he would have gotten professional help, it would have went a long way. I'm not going to pick everything apart. He brought up North Korea. They do not punish people for going against atheism. I mean, I doubted it, but I didn't look into it necessarily because honestly, I didn't think that we had good information on North Korea. But also, it really doesn't matter what North Korea does at all, because it's that would be state atheism is what he's describing, and that's simply not what atheism is in general. But it's good to know that North Korea doesn't punish people for speaking out against atheism, I guess. I think that they would care more about them speaking against the government rather than, saying fuck atheists. I don't think they'd care about that. Anyways, I'm not going to, let's see. They punish people who do not worship the Kim dynasty as gods. Yeah, see? There is a difference there. On that, he should look into the subject matter before speaking on it. There are Christians in North Korea, and they have to practice underground or they will be executed. Okay, interesting. There are Christians in North Korea, and they have. Oh, wait, sorry. The reason Kim Jong and his father and grandfather doesn't allow Christianity is because the people will find out the Kims use the Bible to come up with their own story for the shit they did. I learned that from watching a North Korean defector's YouTube channel. Well, you all should join the Skeptic Mafia, play with the emojis, and hang out, plus much more. Thank you there, Daniel. I appreciate that. I wonder what the Kim's backstory is. I feel like that could be an interesting read one day. Alex Baranowski says, not a strong start with 20 seconds intro music and a Bible meme, but to each their own. Sci-fi communist religion of atheism? He's one of those people. Oh, it's on Sunday? Okay. The lunar eclipse is on Sunday, apparently. I only glanced at the chat for a second. Anyways, Roman Catholicism and Islam are satanic cults now? Tell me you have a brain damage without telling me you have brain damage. So basically, atheism is dangerous because he was dangerous as an atheist. I don't think that's how an atheist. I don't think that's an atheist problem. This guy is entertaining, at least. The Skeptic Mafia is also entertaining, so join it or else. Addendum: when I was an atheist, when I was a theist, I had far less support than I do now as an atheist. I'm not saying it had anything to do with me becoming an atheist, but the religion I was loosely raised in, Catholicism, kinda glorifies putting up with abuse because 1, you must honor your family and community, and 2, Jesus suffered and it's a virtue. I have serious concerns about the ability of religious people to notice when they are being abused or having issues with their mental health. I can agree that it might be difficult to discern that if you're indoctrinated into a religion. So, Jester Lord of Fools says, I'd just like to take this opportunity to remind people that mental health is important and you don't have to go it alone. Please reach out, touch grass, then schedule an appointment for some type of non-religious therapy. Also sign up for the Skeptic Mafia so you can get more therapeutic doses of GE throughout the week. Yeah, and if you do happen to want some kind of religious aspect mixed in with your therapy, I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but if that's what you want, there are plenty of therapists out there that do that mix religion in with your therapy. I think that is not necessarily the best idea, but I mean, they do it. Just saying. Next up is Command Cyborg, who says, hello, world! What is this now? No, man, Catholics nor Muslims are satanic. Mother Mary isn't considered a goddess by the Catholics. She's a saint. That's more like an ensign of a god, or something like that. Nor was she from Babylon. Wherever you get your wherever did you get your false beliefs about this? I have no fucking clue. It's probably like Kent Hovind or something. No, man. Atheists seldom think everything sprang out of nothing. Are you sure you're not projecting here? As far as I get it, as our universe started at the beginning of time, there was never a time where there was nothing or no universe. Also, an absolute nothing defies logic, trying to remember this argument. It's something like Because of the law of non-contradiction, since there is something, there could never be or have been nothing. Since the true nothing is devoid of everything, even vacuum fields or states, quantum or otherwise, not even false ones, not even. Smash all the buttons, ring-a-ding-dong. Remember to not index at 1. That's all, folks. Thank you, and Command Cyborg says good night. Thank you so much there, Command Cyborg. Oh, we got Zoomy. Zoomy's got some ASCII. Zoomy says, after he said sci-fi communist, I was like, I'm out. I mean, if you're that far gone, I'm not even going to listen to you because you've already proven how idiotic you are as a person and how little I give a fuck about your opinion. So yeah, didn't watch most of it, just gonna sit and watch you debunk the stupidity. So ASCII time, I guess. Oh shit, it's a me ASCII. I remember you having this one. That's that's so cool. You got my little receding hairline and everything like that. That's so great. All right. I know it's a repost, but I haven't had much inspiration lately, and I know how much you love it. Anyway, y'all should go ahead and lick that like button, smash the subscribe, play with all the buttons down there, and shill, exit stage right. Yeah, so one of the things that we do here for the Skeptic Mafia is we have a monthly hangout. And then it's been going about every couple of weeks. We have a Skeptic Mafia podcast where we kind of talk about current political stuff. So if you want to get in on that, join the Skeptic Mafia. Next up is Big Sky Pioneer. Big Sky says, I rarely comment on the videos you post when I go to view them on their channel because I don't want to give their channel additional exposure in the YouTube algorithm. This one got under my skin a little bit. I commented on this video a few times. It is something I noticed about born-again evangelicals when I was one. They often will refer to themselves as atheists before their baptism or conversion experience just because they weren't a quote-unquote true believer. These people consider atheists to be among the worst of humanity, so it follows that when they say, see the light, they are now on an almost angelic plane, believing their bankrupt, immoral self behind. Leaving their bankrupt, immoral self behind. They never really believed in God until now, yada, yada, yada. He even alludes to this mindset when he refers to anyone that doesn't match his belief system, to include Catholics, the largest and oldest denomination of Christianity in the world, in the most derogatory way possible. No true Scotsman rides again. I feel like that needs a meme or something on its own of a Scotsman on like a horse being like, I'm riding again, the true Scotsman. No true Scotsman rides again. I get pretty irritated when Christians pull up their persecution by secularists playbook, especially when they actually want to replace our republic with a theocracy. Being an open atheist and being elected to public office is almost impossible in the United States. As an example, the current Congress of 535 members, one openly claims no religious affiliation whatsoever. One! There is no such thing as a majority of one in Congress when they vote on laws. As for feeling alone as an atheist, I can relate to this point, but my situation is due to geography, a sparse population, and Christian intolerance. Besides, being an atheist is one aspect of what makes me who I am. It's part of me, but not all of me. Evangelicals never seem to comprehend some of us don't rely on religion as a sole personality attribute. That's a good insight there. Thank you so much there, Big Sky. Trickster says, not to pull the no true Scotsman card, but I don't believe this guy was an atheist. You know, after reviewing the video, I'm still waffling. Like, I don't know if he was one or not, because I feel like if he was an atheist, then, and he didn't seek, you know, any kind of therapy or help for his problems, and then becoming a Christian. I could totally see him presenting himself this way. But I will say this. If he was an atheist, he definitely wasn't an atheist like he describes it now. So he was not that kind of atheist, I don't think, when he was an atheist, because of his religious bias that he's looking at his past self through. Anyways, I think that he was probably totally different, and that's just what I've noticed in similar cases. Anyways, Trickster continues with sci-fi communists. Gotta say, I've never heard of that one. I think this guy probably watches the likes of inmate Kent Hovind and Matt Powell, who believes there are mountains in Michigan and has a giant inflatable banana he named Dr. Peel. He says he was depressed as if that is the only way you can end up with depression. I had my head bashed in years ago after having suffered from depression ever since. Oh, man. And have suffered from depression ever since. Maybe instead of running to the nearest church, maybe he should have gotten help from a professional in the field of depression. This guy should work in a movie theater. I mean, just look at how good at projection he is. I am going to go out on a limb and say this guy is probably an evangelical. Well, he sounds like an evangelical creationist is what he sounds like. Like, subscribe, and share this. And if you want to be part of something special, drop a couple bucks and become a Skeptic Mafia member and start having fun today. You get to help to pick the dumpster fire we will watch on Friday night and drop a comment that GE will read on air. You get some of the best emojis around, which you've seen, people, using in the side chat. Next is Peyton Dooley, who says, sounds like he doesn't really believe his religion. He uses it as a crutch to keep from feeling sad. He even said it didn't matter if you were a Muslim, Hindu, or Catholic. My favorite part was the I used to know evolution a lot part where he says humans came from algae that morphed into frogs or whatever. Lol. Yeah, that was a pretty big key that he really didn't. He really didn't know anything about fucking about the evolution. Who's Your Buddy says couldn't make it past the intro of sci-fi communism of atheism. I'm sure he gets all whiny and we call his god a bearded sky wizard though. Let's see. Drew's book reviews has a good bit to say. Drew says, okay, that start got me. Lol, the sci-fi communist religion of atheism. I can reference so much sci-fi where religion plays a huge role. Star Wars, Dune, Hyperion, Cantos, and even Foundation can be interpreted as having religious themes, especially Star Wars with their Jedi religion. When he was an atheist, he was depressed. While I can't emphasize having suffered from suicidal depression myself, but at least when speaking for myself, it was religion that was a huge factor in my mental illness and depression. By that, I mean I can say that 90% of my mental health problems can be directly shown to have been caused by religious ideas and psychological manipulation and abuse directly from the religion I was raised in. Honestly, the thing that annoys me the most about vids like this is that they are attributed their perceived experience with atheism as universally applicable to all. I would never claim that my personal experience with religion means everyone who is religious must therefore be suicidally depressed and have mental health problems. Many people are happy believing in God and being part of a religion. What I will say, and perhaps this guy can maybe try this approach, is my experience with atheism or religion, if you were speaking to a religious crowd, is this. And perhaps if you are feeling this way as well, maybe you should be willing to consider if this is something that might work for you. This is why I changed my worldview, beliefs, etc. It worked for me because of XYZ. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend who is still Mormon who told me, Andrew, I can tell you something, but it's hard being Mormon because this friend is struggling with things and the LDS faith is a big part of that. This is not my words, but my friend's. I told my friend, you know my experience, and I'm probably one of the very few people that can truly understand what you are feeling. And I won't tell you what to do, but I will tell you that I'm here to help you through these struggles and you are dealing with. Recognizing where your feelings are coming from and understanding how this conflict arises from your religious beliefs as you have explained them is a big first step. I will be here for you, waiting for you at the end of your journey and to provide support, love, and will never judge you on this journey you have taken the first step on. All paraphrased, of course, but you get the point. As far as North Korea, as GE says, citation fucking needed. Anyway, heathens, until next time, keep on reading. Yeah, he definitely didn't provide any kind of citations. So, I mean, in order to understand what he was trying to talk about, he just kind of showed a general, Wikipedia page, I guess, without any kind of further explanation. So, but anyways, I think that was excellent advice you gave to your friend there. Definitely being there, being supportive, letting them know that, you're not there to judge them or anything like that. You're just there to support them. I think is the best way to go about it. Torbjorn Lindberg says a complete summary of his argument. Belief in an invisible friend is good because admitting you were sometimes truly alone is depressing. And I can find non-believers who did bad things. Yes, but admitting we do not know is sort of the opposite of irrational, and an imaginary friend is a poor excuse for real ones. Like Arn Ra has said several times, these people can't separate believe from make-believe. Thank you there, Torbjorn. Then we got Jonathan Hanachek. First, we got Who's Your Buddy with a member chat saying, this counter is off. I have been a member since day one. Oh, that's weird. So who's your KC? She's been signed up since I initially turned on memberships, and hers says only 13 months. I don't know why. The only thing
what are you doing?
Oh, because it's Friday the 13th.
I blew my load.
Who's Your Buddy says, so the counter read 12 months until I sent, then it read 43 months. What the fuck? Also, have some more donation money. Let's see. Jonathan Hanachek says, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I hear stupid shit like this, I always ask them if they would read Genesis chapter 38 in its entirety so they could go read it to any young person in their life or any woman and see their reaction. If that's not totally, if it's not totally discussed, I don't know what is. Totally disgusting? I don't know what it is. From my understanding, and the short, simple answer is a grandfather can fuck his granddaughter to give her a child because his grandson wasn't worthy in God's eyes. Oh, I forgot about that particular chapter. That's interesting. I mean, I know that we did it on our Daily Bible podcast, so I'm just going to go back and listen to it. Okay, so since I want to get away from this dark-hearted matter of this stupidity of this man here and talk about the man on the screen speaking to you right now, one, from my understanding, he's a great atheist with more information than I do about this moronic faith that we have to deal with in our daily lives. So if you want some of the greatest left and rights you can throw at these morons, stay tuned, subscribe. And if you really want to get inactive with the entire community, join the One of Us 1 to 4 levels. We don't mind. If you can't buy, you are missing out on the best part of this channel. Interaction, you get to talk with the myth, the man, religion, Godless engineer. John is one of the best YouTubers on YouTube right now, in my opinion, unless KC decides to come back and grace us with a beautiful presence. I know you are. But until that day, you'll have to deal with John and the Giggling from the Peanut Gallery. Also, the Daily Bible podcast that KC is highlighted in. just a joke. Don't kill me. But until she decides to come out of the shadows, I guess we all have to say is have a good night, Miss Caitlin Chloe. And remember that idiots like this that we just watched tonight are never fucking right. Thank you. Coming to my micro TED Talk. Now I'm going to smash my head against the wall and hopefully delete some of the stupidity I just fucking heard. Do not take my word for it. It might not work. And then we got Jonathan Nickel, who says, if someone claims to be a former atheist, then immediately strongmans atheism to the point where he is either lying or doesn't understand it, I call bullshit right away. He says he was depressed as an atheist, but I don't see how atheism could be the cause of his depression unless he wanted there to be a God. If that were true, could his Christianity be the result of emotional comfort and confirmation bias? Catholicism is another denomination of Christianity, and Islam is a different religion. Neither are satanic cults any more than they are true Scotsmen. Also, humans can seek solace from other humans, whether religious or not. Whilst many communist regimes were atheistic, atheism is not communism. Communism is a political ideology. Sorry, communism is a political ideology, not a form of government, I guess. Not a religious one. He has never heard of the Russian Orthodox Church. This is a Christian church that existed within a now former communist, although Putin may have other ideas, nation. Also, North Korea is a necrocracy where the people are forced to idolize a dead former leader. Kim Jong-un doesn't want people bowing to the other supposed gods, so that would detract from the ancestor worship he continues to enforce. His examples do not reflect atheism, but rather the actions of dictators consolidating their hold on power. Look at the trees! Evolution and biology are not atheism. The Big Bang is not something coming from nothing. I call BS at the start. Now it's clear to me that this guy is totally clueless. Totally agree. Thank you there, Jonathan. And then finally, we got Jason Kolosyke. Says, oh, a fresh face. Did atheism hurt him? Is that why he turned to religion? I'm guilty of the impulse, no true Scotsman. The suspense is killing me. Listen now or get it fresh from GE tonight. Thank you so much there, Jason, and everybody part of the Skeptic Mafia that commented tonight. You guys are awesome. But anyways, that's going to be it for our show tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that, enjoy is a little bit of a harsh or maybe an extreme thing to say about the video, but I definitely enjoyed hanging out with all of you. Oh, and then we've got,
here comes the gravy train.
The gravy train. We got Daniel M who says, fun fact, not really fun, about North Korea. Everyone has to hang Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il's portrait in their house. And if there's a fire or anything, they have to save the portraits before their family or be executed. Let's see. Jonathan in the side chat says, if you want more information on the lunar eclipse, I've tagged it underneath my comment on tonight's video. Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. I'm wondering, I don't know, Jonathan, I know that you like to do a lot of camera work, like in the sky and stuff. I don't know if you're going to be taking pictures of the lunar eclipse, but I think it's going to be kind of interesting tomorrow night, or Sunday night, rather. But anyways, I got to get Xander to bed. I'm actually getting him to bed on time tonight instead of late. Although he's going to have to pick up his room because right now it's a little bit of a mess. But anyways, we got a great week coming up next week. Let's see, Monday, we're talking about contradictions in the Bible, and specifically an apologist that's defending the Bible against contradictions. Y'all may know him as Tim something. His last name is escaping me right now. In any other case, I would know. He's the Red Pen Logic. Tim Barnett. I knew I'd get there. Tim Barnett. We got Tim Barnett on Contradictions on Monday. We've got Malachi on Tuesday with the Daily Bible Podcast. We're definitely going to get a Skeptic Mafia podcast recorded this week. So Mafia, stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot to talk about. And then Wednesday, we're actually going to have another clip from my Richard Carrier interview, where we're kind of arguing against Bart Ehrman. I know that Ehrman. I know that I've kind of been going hard against Ehrman here lately, but we're going to continue with that. And then Thursday, we're going to have some kind of TikTok video where people say stupid shit on TikTok, there's a lot. And, we'll see you guys next Friday on a live stream. I hope that you guys have a great week coming up. I know I've got at least one extra day off because I had to work all fucking day today, and I'm not happy about that. I'm going to go and play some No Man's Sky in VR because I deserve it. Anyways, y'all have a great night tonight, and I hope that you that are interested in the lunar eclipse will catch that on Sunday. And I guess I'll see you heathens next week. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.